Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines. And what is this? We are no longer in the map we were building on for the last 20 or so episodes. So if you haven't seen my latest Hogwarts Legacy videos, basically what happened is my computer crashed badly. Spent a couple of days trying to figure out the issue. In the end, it turned out it was my RAM memory that didn't work anymore, so I had to replace that. But in the process, I discovered that one of my hard drives was also on the brink of failing completely, so I had to replace that as well, which meant I had to reinstall Windows on a different drive. Basically, I lost all my installed games and programs. I didn't think that would be a huge issue for Cities Skylines because Cities Skylines, I put all my save games in the cloud. I use the Steam Cloud option to save all my games. All the mods for Cities Skylines are just workshop subscriptions, so reinstalling the game shouldn't really do anything to those either. But when I reinstalled Cities Skylines and I wanted to open up the save game that we had, I realized that the latest save game that was successfully synced to the cloud was somewhere back in January. Which isn't too bad. I mean, it's only halfway February at the moment, so I could have continued from that point forward. But if you reinstall Cities Skylines, it does install all the mods again that you subscribe to. But what it doesn't do is remember the settings. So when I opened up the latest save of our previous city, all I saw was blue. There was no map. If I were to, zoom out as far as I can, you see the blue background here. That was all I saw when I opened that map. I couldn't see anything. There was no map. There was nothing. No errors, no nothing. So I tried to get it back. The best I could do was I could load a save from all the way back in December, which would mean, 7 or 8 episodes ago. And that had a whole lot less progress than what we had. I haven't given up on that city yet, but I don't have great hopes to recover any recent save game for that city. And I didn't want to spend too much time on it anymore because I already had spent a couple of days, rebuilding my PC, reinstalling Windows, reinstalling all the software that I use, all the settings that I had. Also, this is a particularly bad time to have a PC crash because of Hogwarts Legacy, a new game that I've been playing that has a whole shitload of bugs as well. So I wanted to get back into Cities Skylines, give you some Cities Skylines content, and I decided, all right, if I can't get the old city back up and running, then at least we can start another city. Maybe if I can fix one of the more recent saves, we'll have 2 cities at the same time. But for now, we are going to start anew. And we are going to do that with one of the content creator pack maps. I'm not quite sure what it's called. I'll put that on the screen for you in post if I remember that. But there will obviously be in the description down below. I will tell you which map it is. And yeah, this city is called Cities Isles. Cities is the name that City Skyline name generator came up with when I opened this map, and I thought it was a pretty cool name. So because we have an island map this time, I put Isles behind it. And we have the city, or at least the region of Cities Isles. And this is a pretty cool map. So we have lots of opportunities here. One of the reasons I picked this map was I really like this thing over here, even though it's completely useless and unnecessary, but I like the way it looks. We do have to do something about the highways because I'm not a fan of 3-lane highways. I think by default highways should be 2 lanes in each direction. So we are going to change that. Last map, I did change every single highway on the map before we started building. I think this time what we're going to do is when we see part of the highway that we're using, we're going to change it into a 2-lane, bring the lanes a little bit closer together, make it a little bit more realistic. Instead of doing all of that at the start, I just want to use the map as is. And we also have plenty of options to build on this map. We have this little area here, which could be a cool village. This is obviously where the main city is going to be. Then we have this island, which would be agriculture, maybe forestry. We have this island where we can build cool little village. We have this one over here. Over here we have already a little bit of a harbor area, which could be an excellent industrial area. We have some more islands, some more mountain ranges over here. There are plenty of options for us to build on this map. This map is a little bit more tropical than the previous map. Zooming in on this part, I don't see anything but regular trees. But there are lots of palm trees around as well. Here, for instance, on the beach. So this is a little bit more of a tropical area. Maybe in the Mediterranean or the Caribbean. I don't think Caribbean. Maybe this is more rainforest. Brazil, northern Brazil, maybe something like that. If we were to compare it to something in real life. So that is what we're going for. A little bit more of a tropical vibe than what we had in the previous map, what we had going on. I do have to find some new assets for houses and stuff, although I think that these houses we were using a lot by Smiles, these condos and these apartments, I think they fit pretty good in here as well. Especially these Brazilian style ones, I believe they're called. These ones, yeah. So I have to search the workshop for some of these, but I do wanted to use a little bit more of the vanilla assets as well, especially assets from the eco building range. So high density eco and where is it? Low density eco. These buildings, I really like these, and there are plenty of them in the city, in the base game. So I want to use a lot of those. Also, these are pretty cool. I think these wall-to-wall buildings, even though most of them are pretty small. So a little bit more of vanilla assets, a little bit less of workshop assets. Also, I want to add just another level to the detailing for this city. Last city, main thing we did was plot down all the houses ourselves, made sure everything looked okay from medium to long range away, but there wasn't a whole lot of detailing except for some garden work and some fences and trees and stuff like that on very close by levels. So I want to do that a little bit more in this city. And what I want to do is I want to pay a little bit more attention to the budget this time, because last time we were plopping down unique buildings left, right, center, not really looking at the budget, just making sure it looked all right. I want to at least keep an eye on it this time, so we don't get into the negative 150,000s like we did last time. So where do we start on this map? Now, of course, I'm going to use the 81 tile mod to unlock all the tiles, so we aren't bound to start at the center. There are a couple of places on this map that we could start. One such place is over here. I think this would be an excellent location to start a little village. It has a highway access. It has access to the water. This is even a little bit of a natural harbor situation over here. So we could have some fishing harbors over here, maybe a few seaweed farms on this side. Also has a railroad access over here. So this would be infrastructural, the best place to start on this map, I think. And we can expand to over here and expand to up here. So that would be a good place to start, but the downside of that is it's all the way up here in the corner, which would of course be semi-realistic. I mean, if people were to come from this side through the mountains, there wouldn't be a highway just yet connecting these pieces of these islands to what I believe is part of the mainland. I think these top islands, they all connect as part of the mainland. These are just rivers coming down. So if they were to come from the mountains and wanted to settle somewhere, this would be a logical place, because it would be the end of the mainland, it would be close to the water, close by for fishing, with the mountains behind them for a little bit of extra protection from anything that would come and threaten them from the mainland. And then, you know, gradually people would build bridges or take boats and go to the islands and stuff like that. If we do assume that people crossed the water and didn't stop over here, which would be entirely possible, because these islands are pretty close together. Then I would say this is a cool area to start building in because of the same reasons of building over here. You have access to the sea. This could be like a natural harbor, so there could be fishing over here. Again, if we start building here, we have the mountains on our back, protecting us from anything that would come from this side, even though it's an island and there wouldn't be that much coming from that side. We have a little bit of a natural harbor here as well, so this would be a good place to start. This would be a good place to start. This would even be a good place to start, but I want to keep the center area free of any buildings at the moment because I want to use that as our main financial center, main downtown. And I don't want to start with that just yet. This could also be a cool area to start. This one has highway access and train access as well. But this could be a nice place to start. We need to do something about the highway. Yeah, this would be also a nice natural harbor for some fishing. Same as goes for here. So I think we're going to use this one. It's not that big a leap to think people crossed the water over here. Maybe even on low tide, they could have even walked across here. Settled over here, nice natural harbor over here. Plenty of fish probably. Let's see, do we have a fish map? Yeah, plenty of fish overall. Shellfish, anchovy, yeah, even some salmon in the rivers. That would be a nice little place to start building, I think. Yeah, as I was saying, I'm talking for about 15 minutes already and we haven't done a single thing. I've only shown you the map a little bit. So let's get started with, first of all, unlocking every single tile. So to do that, we are going to 81 tile map, 81 tiles mod. And unlock all areas. You can see it happening in the background. The game doesn't really like it. But voila, entire map unlocked. And to start us out, we need a little bit of a highway exit. I think I'm gonna leave the roads as they are for now. And just start building along the coast here with a little harbor area and some houses. Maybe even a church. So yeah, let's get to it. we are. The first part of the little village that is going to be over here. Now I wanted to get a few houses up and running so that we could get some people in and start making some money, which we are doing. 126 a week. Excellent. I used I used only low density eco buildings and a couple of these low-rise apartments for around the sides. I really like how this looks with all the trees and the palm trees, and everything seems a little bit integrated. The cemetery is completely surrounded by houses, but the paths they continue walking through. They look a little bit like small roads because the roads are made of concrete over here. Really like that look. So yeah, this is the sort of thing that I'm going to go for, at least in the low density areas around the islands in this map. Of course, it wouldn't be a city of mine without some land value issues, because I just plop down whatever looks good. I don't really look at the level of the houses, but I do have level control, so I could force a downgrade. So let's try it on this one, for instance. If I force a downgrade, I could make it, say, level 3. And then it automatically level back up once it is ready, hopefully. Is 3 still too high? How about 2? What are the others? These are 3. Okay, 2 is low enough, and it's almost ready to go to 3. So let me real quick do that for all these houses. There we go. Excellent. So that is really helpful mod, level control. I had it installed in the previous city, but I hadn't enabled it. So I'd completely forgotten that I had it. When I was looking at all the settings, trying to get the old save game back, I noticed it wasn't enabled last season. So that is a very useful tool to have. It means we can put down basically everything that we want and then control the level ourselves, which is good. Then on this side over here, we have a little bit of industry. And the reason I put it down here is because I wanted to make sure that we started making money, which we're not doing anymore, by the way. I think that had something to do with the houses leveling down, so they're paying less taxes now. I think that's how that works. So let's real quickly put in some of these. These aren't going to stay here, by the way. This is just for us to make a little money at the moment. So what I think I'm going to do on this side of the map is, I think nestled against the mountains, I think is going to be forestry. Because looking at the islands and the amount of trees that we have and the climate, I think this would be an excellent location for some forest industry. And especially because we're going to, put a lot of green in here overall. So this is going to be a very green map. Also, I think we are going to put in a little bit of fishing on this side first, because that was one of the reasons why we chose this location. So a little bit of fishing in here. So yeah, let me extend the city a little bit more, or the village a little bit more, and then I'll be right back. the continuation of our little village. Fishing industry along the waterfront, fish market and fish factory to make use of that fishing industry, and of course a whole lot more low density eco buildings and some shops started around. We're currently at 1,000 people, which is nice. We're making money, which is nice. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this little village is starting to look. So yeah, I think the next step is add a little bit more fishing on this side, because this one has been complaining for not enough fish. And then after that, we are going to change this generic industry into a forest industry, because I really hate the way generic industry buildings look. Office buildings, the vanilla ones, are okay-ish. We have, of course, also, you know, these ones, but there isn't a whole lot of choice. Same goes for this one. There's only like 1, 2, 3, 5 forest buildings in the generic industry. That's ridiculous. I mean, they look okay. Can I use Bob to change that? I cannot. Thankfully, I can. So yeah, we're going to have a little forest industry over here. But yeah, that is something that we are going to do in the next episode. For now, though, I would like to ask you to leave some feedback. I know my Cities Skylines videos, there are plenty of people who watch my Cities Skylines videos. Most videos get a couple hundred views, between a couple hundred and 1,000. Some get between 2,000 and 3,000 views. I haven't figured out yet why that is, but I think it has something to do with the title and the thumbnail and everything all together. So, but I don't get a whole lot of comments on my Cities Skylines videos. So what I want from you is I would like some comments on what do you think we should do on this map? How do you think we should proceed? Also, naming suggestions are always welcome, because I am very bad at naming things. I mean, I really like to name various isles, so that is what we're going to keep for the region. But this little village needs a name, for instance, and this little village is going to be all the way over here, all the way over here. We're going to fill that in the next couple of episodes. So yeah, and if you don't have any naming suggestions, or if you don't, you know, have any ideas about how to continue this island, what to do, things to add, maybe you have an asset or something you want me to add, or a mod you want me to use. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Even if you don't have anything to suggest or to question or whatever, just leave an emoji or something. It really helps. That is what I did notice. The episodes that do have a couple of comments, they keep doing good, because, you know, engagement and stuff, the YouTube algorithm, blah blah blah. So yeah, leave a comment, suggest some names, suggest what you want to see on this map in the next couple of episodes. And I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.